In the last video, I talked about the childhood trauma that I was trying to unpack at the same time that I was going through my best friend breakup. And so I'm just gonna talk through a little bit about the... Okay, this is my Sag Mercury coming out. I'm literally like laughing at trauma and like trying to not make a joke. Okay, that is a defense mechanism of mine. I will like laugh at like clearly not funny times or like try to make a joke about like my trauma. Okay, anyways, the childhood trauma that I was unpacking is because my family is a family of immigrants. Both my parents were born in different countries. My mom was born in the Philippines and my dad was born in Malta. My nana and nenu literally moved here to America when they were like 19 and then started a life here. So I was just brought up with the typical immigrant family mentality, which is my family came here to start a new life that had more opportunity for them, but also to give me and my brothers and sisters more opportunity as well when we're going through like the school systems and everything else, right? And then how we're able to get jobs. Like there's just more opportunity here. So again, the mindset is, and what we've been told growing up is, we gave up everything for you. We gave up everything. We left our family. We left everything to come here so that we could build a better life and then give you a better life. So be grateful for the bare minimum, which is a roof over your head, food, and water. That is what we're meant to be grateful for. And you put your head down, and you don't ask any questions, and you don't take any leaps of faith, and you basically live in fear because you're just trying to do the things at work, right? Which is go to school, go to college, graduate, get your degree, use it, get a job in corporate, do that for the rest of your life. That's basically what I've been trained to do, trained to want. And cat's out of the bag. I have ADHD. I'm not meant to be in the back of a office typing on a keyboard. Like I can't do the same mundane tasks every day. I'm not meant for a typical routine. That's why I started my business, because I know I was meant to be an entrepreneur. I know that I'm meant for more, and my creativity shines when I have that freedom. And in my jobs, I've never like received that full, creative freedom. So I never felt fulfilled, and I never felt like the work that I was doing was like important when I was working at different jobs after college. When you're taught to just put your head down and do the things, it's really hard to get out of that mindset. And that's how my entire family was operating. Like it's also hard to get out of that mindset when everybody around you is promoting it and promoting that lifestyle and not telling you to go after your dreams and not to, oh, that's another thing about immigrant families. Going after a dream doesn't exist. It's going after a dream is a luxury. If you're able to chase your dreams, that's a luxury. Because again, that doesn't follow the path that is supposed to work, right? Which is, again, go to school, go to college, get your job, do that for the rest of your life. That taking a leap of faith and following your dreams does not fit into that mold. So it's looked down upon, and it's honestly not supported. And people want to instill fear in you because they would never do that. They want to project literally all of their experiences and fears onto you because they wouldn't do it themselves, because they're scared, because it literally doesn't have a specific outcome. There's no specific amount. You know what I mean? Like you don't have a fixed amount that you're getting with a check every single time, like whatever, right? There's a bunch of intricacies. But that's the main thing, is that it's not a fixed amount. You don't know when, you don't know how much you're gonna make. You don't know when your money's coming, whatever, right? If you're taking a leap of faith. And on top of the, growing up in an immigrant household, another thing that comes with it is, and like, I'm sharing these things because this is what like led to who I am today. And like I said, my mom was born in the Philippines. She didn't come here until she was like 16 or 17. So she didn't go through the school system here. She doesn't know like any of the things like homecoming and senior year spring break and all those things like don't exist to her. And I say this because like growing up, my dad worked nights, so he slept all day. So, and then he left for work at night when we were sleeping. So like when I would come home, who's there to help, me and my sister with our homework? Who's around to tell us, hey, you have a pop quiz on Thursday. Hey, make sure you write your paper, your weekly book report or whatever. Nobody was doing that for us because my mom didn't even know what grade I was in growing up. Like I'm saying this not to out my parents, but literally to set the scene of like what my childhood was like. They're struggling about money. They're fighting about money. We're all going to family therapy because of it. No one's keeping me and my sister, like we are basically left to our own devices when it comes to school. Like I was the one who knew me and my sister were making our lunches, waking up on our own. We were waking up on our own. Like my mom wasn't even like setting alarms for us anymore. Like we were literally waking up. I started taking the bus when I was in 6th grade. Like she stopped making our lunches. Like in middle school, she stopped driving us to school. Like literally 12. No, actually I was young for my grade. So I think I was like 10 or 11 when I was in 6th grade. And this is when I was doing all this. I was literally setting my alarm, waking up by myself, making my own lunch, getting myself to school, doing the bus there and back, and then organizing all of my work, all of my homework, all of my tests, all of my quizzes, and doing that all on my own. Like literally no one is around to help me with my bath homework. No one is around to help me with X, Y, and Z. My sister has her own life. She couldn't be there every single second I need. You know what I mean? Like we both have our own things. And by the way, with all this being said, clearly our home environment did not feel safe. We're both trying to actively be away from the house because we don't want to be in it so bad. Like, and I say that because literally I set up my life growing up, especially in high school. This is when it hit really hard. I set up my life so that I would be gone from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. pretty much every single day, during the week at least. Otherwise, I'm with friends on the weekends. But I set it up like that so that I never had to be home. So I did a bunch of extracurricular activities. I played sports. I was tutoring kids. I did 80 hours of community service literally for fun because I literally just wanted to be out of the house. And by the way, yes, I did the community service because I wanted to help people. I enjoyed helping people, but that was just another thing that I threw onto my plate, even though I totally couldn't handle it because I literally just wanted to be so busy that I didn't have to face anything or be home and face that. I had 5 jobs at one point. Like I was just a menace. I was completely crazed because I was just running and filling my schedule and filling it so that I didn't have to face anything. There was this time where I was in 2nd grade and I was really close with my 2nd grade English teacher. Still love that woman to this day. Mrs. Hata, if you're watching this, love you, girl. Anyways, so I loved reading, I loved writing, I've already said that before, but there was parent-teacher conferences. And so my dad went to parent-teacher conferences and my English teacher was like, so Brianna is doing amazing in, you know, she's excelling in reading and writing and everything, like everything's all set there. But I am worried about her though. And my dad was like, okay, well, if she's excelling in the class and she's excelling in all of her projects and assignments, then what are you worried about? And she was like, well, you know, I'm concerned because Brianna comes to school and she talks about like probably things that like, you know, a kid shouldn't really know or like talk about. And my dad was like, what is she saying? And she was like, well, you know, she talks about like bills and like taxes and she's like worried about you guys like paying, you know, your house bill and like, obviously she probably said mortgage, but I'm calling it house bill, right? Or whatever it is when I don't know what I'm saying. And I'm literally 7 years old. I'm in 2nd grade telling my teacher, hey, we gotta pay our house bill or mortgage or whatever it's called, taxes and worried about money and da, right? And my dad was like, oh my gosh, like, okay, yeah, she probably just like picked that up from like what she hears at home or whatever. And he was like, I'll try to like make sure that we don't talk about that stuff around her. And then my teacher was like, okay, cool. But like, this is the type of stress and chaotic environment that I was in 24/7. And, you know, again, I'm not saying this to shit on my parents. I'm saying this because it is what it is. The situation is what it is. And it sounds bad because it is bad. Like, there's nothing I can like. So that happened. You know, there's a bunch of other stories, but like, I'm not going to go into it because again, I'm not trying to use this time to like shit on my parents. They were operating off the programs that they knew. They both had hard lives. My Nana Nenu had, you know, a hard time getting here too. Like, it's just, I know that everyone is trying their best and operating on what they know. And again, I'm grateful for what I've been through because it's made me really strong and it's made me who I am today. So